Hi, Pure Soul members. Happy May and happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. I'm super excited that you're here with me today, and I can't wait to share Promise Week with you. Before we get started, I do want to share a few Alma Pra updates with you. As a quick reminder, our monthly Zoom will take place on the third Wednesday of each month at 6 p.m. I hope you can join me, and I can't wait to see you there. This month will be on May 18th. For those of you that can't make it to the Zoom, please don't feel excluded. Just send me your topic suggestions or your questions prior to the Zoom, and I'll make sure to include them so that you can watch them later when it's posted to the Pure Soul members area. During this month's Ask Nikki session on Wednesday, May 18th, we'll focus some of our time together discussing what it means to be spiritual. Do you think you're a spiritual person? And for you, what does that mean? How did spirituality come into your life, and how did it impact your life? So I thought it would be nice if we just came up with that and kind of discuss that a little bit and amongst ourselves and share our experiences with one another. I also want to say thank you to you for being a Pure Soul member and being part of this community. Please don't forget about your 25% discount on Alma Pura services, which is for Pure Soul members only. Also, if you could share the Pure Soul opportunity with your friends and family, that would be great. Maybe invite them to join our Pure Soul community. For each new friend that you invite, you will receive that joins and becomes a Pure Soul member, you'll receive an additional $10 discount on your own individual reading. So if you round up 10 of your friends and they all join and become a Pure Soul member, that's a $100 discount on your next individual reading. This opportunity will go through the month of June, so I hope you take advantage of it, and I hope we can add on to our community. Also, for the month of May and June, you can share the Ask Nikki Zoom link with your friends and family, and they can join the Ask Nikki Live for free. And if your invitees like the Zoom and like what we discuss, maybe they will join our community and be part of us. Okay, so let's get on with Promise Week now. Did you ever make yourself a promise and hope that this time you would live up to it? Did you promise yourself that this time you would stick to that diet or start working out, or that this time you wouldn't have that third glass of wine? Did you ever promise yourself that this time it would be different? Why is it so hard for us to accomplish our own inner promises and our own inner goals? Is it because we lack the discipline to accomplish them? Is it because the promises that we make to ourselves are too difficult to achieve? Are they out of our reach? Are we shooting too high? Are we capable? I don't think that we give up because we lack discipline, nor do I think that our inner promises are too difficult to achieve. And I also don't believe that they are out of our reach or that we're shooting too high. I don't think it's because of any of those things. I think that because our inner promises originate from the perceived end result and not the journey to get to the end result, that's what really compromises us. So let me repeat that. Our inner promises originate from the perceived end result, not the journey we live to get to the end result. So we kind of forecast into the future, and then we see the success and we see the glory and we live it in our mind. And anything we live in our mind becomes reality in our emotions, and we love this, right? So our mind is involved in the success and our emotions are involved in the success, and then we feel that and we experience that even if we haven't began at step one. So when we think it and we see it and we visualize it and we perceive it and we feel it, that's where we get stopped up, because that's where we have one part of ourself missing from the scenario, because we're analytical, we're physical, and we're emotional. So in our mind is where we see that dream, and our mind is where we make that promise within ourself. And then when we have that end perspective, or where our destination is to arrive, where we're supposed to get to. Once we have that in our mind, we live it literally in our mind, and that, oh, it enters our heart and we feel so happy about it. So our analytical self is all in, and our emotional self is all in. And in fact, they're already living that experience. But when it comes time for our body to jump in at the root chakra, at the physical expression, this is where we sometimes drop the ball. So we traditionally will drop the ball at the physical aspect of, doing that, of accomplishing that inner promise. So I'm going to give you an example of that. Let me explain a story about my daughter, Brittany. When she was a teenager, now I got to preface this with Brittany went through a lot of orthodontic difficulties as she was growing up. And so she is very well versed in everything connected to orthodontics and dentistry. So when she was about 16 or 17, I asked her, what do you want to be when you go to college? Or what are you going to study when you go to college? And her response was that she was going to be an orthodontist, and that she had been experiencing so much information about it from when she was like 8 years old, that she felt so comfortable about walking into this career choice. And so she told me all about it. And over the next year or so, she continued to tell me all about it. And her dream grew and grew and grew. So first she told me she was going to be an orthodontist, and she was going to marry a dentist, and they were going to open up a joint practice of orthodontics and dentistry, and that her spouse would be doing all of the dentistry and she would be doing all of the orthodontics. She also told me that they were going to get a house in Park Ridge, and they were going to have really nice cars, and she was going to have a couple kids. And she went on and on and on, almost to the point where she almost named her orthodontic practice. And so we heard about that, and she was so excited about doing that. And then college came around, and she went to, sign up and to pick her classes and to talk to like one of those student counselors that help you, pick your classes. And so I was excited for her. I couldn't wait to hear the whole story. So she comes home from, signing up and getting all of her information. And I'm like, how did it go? And she's like, well, I'm going to be a journalist. And I go, you're going to be a journalist? I thought you were going to be an orthodontist. And she goes, I've been doing that like my whole life, Mom, and I don't know if I want to spend the next like 8 to 10 years learning the technical aspect of it and putting my hands in people's mouths, because like some people don't brush their teeth. She's like, and it's just a lot of work, and there's like so many classes that you have to sign up for. And I said, okay, baby, that's fine. And she didn't end up going into orthodontics. She is very successful. She's a computer programmer. She has her college degree in communications and journalism, and she's making good money. She's married. She lives in the city. She has 2 cats and a dog and a wife, and she's doing great. But that experience with Brittany is what kind of woke me up to what happens to all of us. And I love this example because it's something we all do. We see the end result. We live the glory in our mind. We see the joy. We see the success. We feel it. We see the finish line. We live it in our mind and in our emotions. But then when it comes to day one, to take the physical step of actually accomplishing this inner promise, that's where we drop the ball. So there's other examples of that too. Like when I think of all the times that I tell myself that I'm going to work out, there's always this rush of thoughts or these ideas and these visions that pop into my head, like Michelle Obama arms, or if I do this, I see the end result of my body being really good, like my friend Kim, who has done years of bodybuilding and perfect and clean eating. And I see all of it. I see all of the success. I see the end result. If I do this, this is what's going to be for me, at least in my mind. But then when day one comes, I don't even start. I don't turn on a Zumba. I don't go running. I don't lift weights. I don't do anything that I experienced in my mind or in my heart, because that's why we do things. We do things to feel something. But if we've already felt something because our mind forecasted us into the future, when we try to do it, we get stuck. So I really think that the reason that this video was inspired in me for the month of May is because I've been promising myself for like a year that I was going to start working out. And every time I start, I do 1 day or 2 days, but I don't finish and I don't keep going. So, how can I fix that? And I've fixed it before. I caught myself in this many years ago, and I kind of have let it go since the pandemic. So I think it's a really good startup thing that we can all try to do. So, how do we fix this? How do we fix our broken inner promises? And trust me, you have to start easy, like super, super easy. Start with something that you know you can't fail at, that you can maybe do for like 7 days. Just make a 7 day promise to yourself. And I did this, and it was a little bit unsettling when I did this initially. I did this like 21 years ago, but let me explain what I did. I chose to make my bed for 7 days. I was in the military. I made my bed 24 times a day, like every day that I was in the military. And this making my bed now, it wasn't even hard. Like I had a comforter. I didn't even have a top sheet, just a comforter. So it would literally take me like 25 seconds or 30 seconds to make my bed. So what I did is I made myself this promise like on a Sunday night. And then Sunday night, I was like, okay, for the next 7 days, I am going to make my bed every single day before I leave for work. So Monday morning rolls around and I am motivated and I'm going to do it. It's super easy. It's a no-brainer, not a problem. So I make my bed on Monday, which again only takes 30 seconds because I just have to like shake out the comforter and make sure it's flat and put the pillows nicely. So Monday was success. And I went to work on Monday, and while I'm at work, I'm thinking, maybe I picked too easy of a thing. Like, this is so easy, but I'm just going to do it for the 7 days. I know that I cannot fail at this. Like, this is the easiest thing I can do. So Tuesday morning rolls around, and now keeping in mind, I felt pretty accomplished, which is so silly about making a bed, but I lived up to something that I promised myself I would do. And that made me feel good. So Tuesday morning, I had a little bit more motivation, and I was like, totally gonna make my bed. Everything's gonna be great. So I did. I made my bed, took the kids to school and to daycare, and we were good to go. Tuesday, I felt accomplished. I was like, I don't know what my problem is. I can live up to myself. This is not a problem. I'll do it. So Wednesday morning rolls around, and again, I'm feeling really motivated. I have a lot of inner feeling of like capable. I'm capable and this, and I can succeed. But the morning did not go according to plan. Marissa wasn't feeling good, so I had to change her clothes. She did get a little bit of spit up on me, so I had to change my clothes. Then Brittany woke up late, so we were running late to get her to school. So my morning kind of got the better of me, and I was so busy running around that as I'm getting ready to walk out of the door with the kids, that voice inside of me happened, and it said, aren't you going to make the bed? And I was like, oh, crap. And then I thought about it, and okay, you guys, this would only take 25 seconds to make the bed. But I decided not to because I was running late, and I told myself all kinds of things and gave myself all kinds of excuses and reasons why I just simply didn't have time to take that 25 seconds, shake out the comforter, fluff the pillows, and leave. So I didn't do it on Wednesday. When I got to work on Wednesday, I mean, I had meetings, I had work to do, I had a peer review to attend to, and do you know that all day, all I could think about was that I didn't make the damn bed that day? And I was so angry at myself because it's such a simple task, and I thought I was capable and great, and I could do anything, but here, day 3, and I blew it, and I couldn't make the bed. So Wednesday night, when I got home, I did make the bed. And it kind of made me feel a little bit better because at least I still made the bed on Wednesday. But I had promised myself that I would make it every day before work, and I did not accomplish it. So I got 2 days in, and on the third day, fail, big fail, because I couldn't take that 25 seconds. So I promised myself tomorrow I'll do better. Thursday morning, I woke up again. The morning was chaotic. And when my inner self, my inner voice said, don't forget to make the bed, I told it to shut up. I was like, shut up. I already screwed it up yesterday. No big deal. I'm not gonna try for it today. I'll just start again next week. And that's exactly what I did. All day Thursday, all day Friday, all day Saturday, I felt like I let myself down. I felt like, seriously, I couldn't even make my bed. So I decided I would start again on that next Sunday and try for the next 7 days. I blew it. I blew it on Tuesday that week. So I didn't even make it a full 3 days or a full 2 days. I blew it Tuesday morning because I woke up late and I was running. And again, the excuse is why I didn't have time to accomplish it. This act of making my bed and promising to accomplish 7 full days of making my bed took 3 weeks. 3 weeks. I literally spent 21 days trying to accomplish making my bed for only 7 days. That's what I'm talking about. I thought it was easy. I thought I could do it. I thought I could live up to myself, and I didn't. And it took me 3 tries to do it. And that was with the easiest thing I could think about doing. So do that for yourself. Test yourself. Challenge yourself. Try fulfilling at least one inner promise per week. Do each promise for at least 7 days. This will build your self-confidence. It will motivate you to keep going. You're going to feel wonderful about yourself. And once you master your easy inner promises, you are ready to shoot for the stars. And that's what I discovered. I got down on myself the first week, got down on myself the second week, but I was so, how can I explain this? When I failed those first 2 weeks trying to do this, I kind of like hated myself in a way. Like I was so down on myself, and I didn't want to feel so down on myself. Like the response that came from me letting myself down it just felt so bad. And so when I finally accomplished that inner promise that third week for that third set of 7 days, I felt wonderful about myself. I felt like I could do anything. And you're going to see how each day, any amount of accomplishment towards your inner promise is a celebration. Because in that third week, I was so happy and proud of myself on Monday. I was so happy and proud of myself on Tuesday. On Wednesday, I made it over the week. I made it over that third day. And once I made it over that third day, I was like, I could totally do this. The fourth day came. I was like, okay, I think I'm going to make it. I think I'm going to make it. The fifth day, I'm doing this. I have 2 days left. I can totally complete this. I can totally live up to myself. Day 5, day 6, day 7, I made it. I felt wonderful about myself. And that's what I want you to feel, is wonderful about yourself. So any amount of accomplishment toward your inner promise, that is a celebration, right? I didn't have to make it to the end. I didn't have to, perceive the 7 days and live it in my mind. I actually did it. And then when I got to the 7 days, that's what I want you to feel, right? So if you want to become a doctor, don't forget to sign up for classes. And if because the day that you sign up for classes, that's accomplishment toward your end result, toward your perceived end result. But celebrate that day. By the third week of making my bed, Monday was a celebration. Tuesday was a celebration. Wednesday, raised the roof. I can't believe I even did it. That was a party. So your accomplishments have to be celebrated on the journey. each accomplishment on the journey should be cause for celebration. So if you want to lose 80 pounds, don't forget that the first pound that you lose is a cause for celebration. And it's the daily accomplishments that end up bringing us to that end result that we foresaw or kind of forecasted into the future about. Um, think about it this way. When we make inner promises to ourselves, the end is what we see first. We see the destination first. That's what creates our happy thoughts and our wonderful feelings. But to get started is where we have to be at the root. And that's where we have to take the physical step to do that. So remember that. Remember that each day is a celebration and you should rejoice in that. And I hope that you do. I hope that you try this week, this promise week, and that you pick a promise that you want to make to yourself and you see if you can fulfill that inner promise for 7 days. So check out the worksheet for this month also, because it has great journal entry prompts about how to track your promise weeks. We will meet again in about from the time you see this, so maybe in June, we can talk about your promise weeks and how many promise weeks did you do, 1, 2, or 3? Were you able to accomplish your promise, your inner promises, and how did you feel afterward? This is a valid, and wonderful lesson. You'll be surprised with what you feel and what you experience when you're working on this. So I thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you have a beautiful promise week or a few beautiful promise weeks, and I can't wait to hear your stories about that. So you guys, please feel free to reach out and please subscribe to my YouTube channel. And all right, I'm looking forward to the next time. Bye, everyone.